Okay, this is honestly, this is probably about nearly a week and a half later since I put the last video up when I did the last little bit on the bike. And I've done nothing but sit here and looking at it and trying to make up my mind what to do with these foot pegs. And I've finally come to a decision. It's been it's been an absolute nightmare. I'm always at the point of wishing I'd left those old hangers on there, so then I wouldn't have to decide how I'm going to make the new ones, because I'm still undecided. I'm still undecided. I had made up my mind before I started recording this. Now I'm looking at it again and I'm not so sure again now. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to sit here for another week and look at it until it comes to me. These things take time. I'll have another smoke. Right, decision has been made. It's taken a long time. And it's caused me an even bigger problem because I've been sat here for so long looking at it. I've decided, forget the foot pegs for a minute, I've decided I don't want to put a support up here. I've been looking at it so long, I like it without anything. I really like the look of that just hanging over as it does. Which means my old subframe that I put on there is coming off. I'm going to remake that again. I'm going to make it out of a square section this time. I've already got one half made out of square section anyway. So that's going to go on there instead. So I don't have to put supports up. But that's for, let's get the foot pegs done first. Okay, so we're going to stick it with the frame. Bear in mind, all of the hangers now will be painted black, so hopefully they'll look like they're all part of the frame. So tubular section, 2 tubes, one down from there, one up from there, holding on to a part that the foot peg will bolt onto, kind of along these lines here. That's the idea. Looking around the back, where I cut the old, you remember I had the exhaust hanger that held the rear foot peg as well. They kind of act as well. If you look at the way that it worked, it kind of acted as a strengthening around this area to stop this from any twists on here. So I'm going to have to redo all of that. There's going to be an awful lot of fabrication here, a lot of work. But I've started making some bits, made a couple of these. Made a couple of these bits, and these will see, it's great. Once you start making something, then it starts making sense. Okay, so countersunk inside, Allen key bolt. This is what the foot peg will actually bolt onto, something like that. And these, this way around rather, are going to sit pretty much in line with that, not far off of that, and probably about that far back, I would say. Okay. 2 tubular sections coming down and welded to them. So what we're going to do, we're going to drop the rear swinging arm off again, so take it all apart on the back, get rid of all of this crappy old stuff that we don't need, all these brackets and this around the back end, so we can start making up the bars, the tubular section bits, to then weld into position. We have a plan. When we have a plan, things start to happen. So I'll get on with it and I'll see you in a little while. Okay, so I'm back. It's been a long time since I've had an opportunity to do anything to the bike. Although it has given me a lot of time to think about how I'm going to do it. And this isn't going to be to everybody's taste, I'm afraid to say. I don't really know. It's like, again, it's one of those things, I don't know what it's going to look like until it's done. But we made these up. These are going to mount 40mm back from there and 5mm out from there as well. So around about in that sort of position. Now I have to hold them in a position and get them welded in a perfectly straight. So the first thing we've got to do is make up a bracket to hold them into position while we make up the bits that we're going to weld on. So there we are, perfectly made. Look at that for craftsmanship. Actually, it's still hot. So let me bolt this on and I'll show you what it does. Okay, so it'll bolt in there, bolt in there. It's butted up that way, so it can't go that way. That's butted up against that, so it can't go that way. So we've got it the perfect distance that we want it away. And then all I have to do is measure up from the floor to the bottom of this. So we've got one for the other side as well. So we can get these perfectly lined up. And you can see it's sitting 5mm out from the frame, which is where I want it. Now hopefully this will be about right when it's on the bike. But again, suck it and see, I'm afraid to say. We won't know until we get it back on the floor and get our feet on them and see how they feel. Okay, so we've done that. So now what we've got to do is start making up the bracketry that's going to actually hold these on. So I made the first couple of little bits up, and as you can see, it's just a matter of cutting a bit of tube down and shaping it up so it will fit. And that'll sit on there nicely like so. Hopefully that'll sit on there nicely like so. Made the other side. So these are my two top brackets for it, and then I've got to make two more coming down to where this lower tube is down there, coming up to the bottom of it as well. And then I've got to get someone, is there anybody out there, someone to do a real nice job on it to weld them on for me. I can't do this myself. The guy that did the rear swinging arm for me did a fantastic job. Lee, his name was. He can't do it because it's too big for him to take it into work. He can't get it in there. So hopefully I'll be able to find someone who can do it in situ. Because it's going to be ever so hard to take this somewhere else to get it done. So anyway, I'll carry on making it up, and I will get back to you shortly. I've made most of the bits I need for the foot pegs now, and I'm a bit stuck with it now to the point that I need to get it all welded together, which I said before, this isn't something I can't do a neat enough job for that, that's for sure. I haven't made these little bits that are going to go down in here yet. But I'm gonna. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with those yet. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until I think I might get them welded together first before I decide exactly how I'm going to put that bit down there. So, got to get this welded. So I'm going to get everything ready that I need to be welded. Shock absorber. I've whipped that back off where I just tacked it on, but I know where it's got to go, so that can be welded at the same time. And the last thing that I need to get done is this subframe, and I did have this on there, and it was in the perfect place. I just had it sort of tacked on. I've pulled it back off again because we're not going to use that because it wasn't strong enough, because I want to see if I can build it without a support, which means the subframe is going to have to be a lot stronger than the one that I made. So I'm going to make it up out of square section, bigger, and I'm hoping that if I can get this welded onto the frame nicely, it will be strong enough to run it without actually having a support bracket up. So this I can weld this bit together, so I can make the subframe up, and then I'll just get it welded onto the bike. So I can carry on with it for now. So I'm just going to, basically I'm just going to put a couple of little cross sections in there as well, weld them up, and then I've got to reposition it on the bike again, so make sure I get it in exactly the right place that I want it. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time faffing around with that. Once that's done, hopefully someone would have called me back. We'll see. Okay, speak to you in a bit. So we just measure up inside the seat unit, or bars inside the seat unit, and just measure up just so we get the size of the crossbars. Okay, so subframe made for now. All we got to do is get that tacked onto there somehow in exactly the right place. Last one took bloody ages to get it lined up right, so this will probably do exactly the same thing. I won't bore you with it, I'll just do it and show you it after. So I'm just trying to mount this rear subframe, and all I'm doing at the minute is trying to get it as central as possible. Okay, so it's central. I'm just going to tack it on the frame for now, just at the front, just so I can hold it, put it all back together, see as long as it make sure the seat unit's sitting dead straight. Right, just to let you know where we are then, made the subframe out of square section this time. I've just tacked in a gusset there on the other side as well, just to hold it in exactly the right place. And made all of the bits that I need in the first instance. So I need to get all of these bits welded to the frame. Now there's been a bit of a change. I'm still waiting for a phone call which hasn't materialised, so it looks like I'm going to have to take the engine out. It's a bit of a shame really. Got to take the engine out, get all of these bits welded on, then I'm going to have to put the engine back in again. Because I have to sort out all of the linkages and things like that, which will involve welding another bit to the frame. But we're in no rush. I said 2 years, so I've still got a year and a half maybe left. So take it as it comes. I'm gonna give it another couple of days, and then the engine's coming out and the frame's I'm gonna have to take the frame somewhere to get it welded. I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to get the same guy who welded the rear subframe up to do the frame welding as well. But let's just see what happens. So as you can see, the bike's been stripped a little bit. The phone call never came, so I couldn't get the welding done here. So the only way I could possibly do this is to actually take it somewhere to get it welded. Now I'm hoping that my mate's going to be able to fit it in the back of his car and take it to work and get it done there, same place as I've got the swinging arm done. So Dave, if you see this video before I actually get a chance to speak to you, do us a favour, pop round. I want to have a chat with you about something. So, whatever happens, I need to get some bits welded. I need to get all of those bits welded onto the frame. And then the killer of this is I've actually got to rebuild the whole thing so we can look at the linkages, because more bits will need to be welded to the frame here. So it's going to have to be bits on, rebuilt, measured up, more bits made, and then stripped completely again second time round. But it's not too bad a job to do, to be honest. If anybody's thinking about taking a bike down to this kind of a level, it's all right. You can do it yourself, tinkering away slowly. End up with a big pile of bits. Don't know how it's all going to go back together. But then let's not worry about putting it back together. That's for another day. So I'm going to post this video before I get the welding done, because honestly I don't know how long it's going to be. I'm away for a week, and it might be another couple of weeks until I can actually get it done. So hopefully the next video you see, it will all be welded together, and I'll show you what it looks like. Don't know when that will be. Soon. Hopefully. Probably not.